What's going on, guys? It's Rob from Heroes Avenue. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are all having a great day today. We are going to go through a number of topics today. We're going to touch on what we talked about yesterday in regards to the whole Amber Heard situation. We're going to be talking about some DC rumors, and we are going to be talking about Batman just a little bit before we get into some reading the comments and getting into discussions about what you guys are talking about down in the comments section. Now, as you guys know, we used to do these reading the comments videos every Sunday, but life got a little bit more hectic with the new baby, and Darren obviously changed jobs, and you guys might know that if you've been following us for a long time. But it's been a while, and we're gonna go ahead and do that. I do miss getting into these videos because it sparks some real fun discussions with you guys. So let's get into it. First off, I want to talk about this petition that has come about, this Remove Amber Heard from Aquaman 2 petition that launched, and it has a ton of signatures already up on change.org. I don't know if it's just me, but as far as signing petitions, I haven't seen a lot of them work in regards to stuff like this. Not to say that you shouldn't do them. I've definitely signed my fair share of petitions, but I'm not sure if this is actually going to work. But it was interesting. So it already has over 125k signatures. That is absolutely nuts. Now, if you guys have not heard the story or read the story, you can go to Comicbook News and read up on the story, but you can also just Google the story, because basically there's a whole situation going on with Amber Heard and ex-husband, or I'm not sure if they're divorced already, Johnny Depp. And obviously there was a whole movement to cancel Johnny Depp and to get him removed from a lot of his projects due to allegations of abuse of his wife Amber Heard at the time, whom he shares a daughter with, I believe. And basically a recording of her from 2015 dropped, and it had some pretty bad things on it. Now, I talked about it yesterday and talked about my stance on it. You can check out the video from yesterday if you want to hear what I have to say about it. But I do gotta say, I checked out Film Gob's video on it, and I didn't listen to the audio. I only read it from yesterday. But listening to that audio is pretty damning. It is pretty damning for Amber Heard. So again, I just wanted to point this out, and I know you guys had some comments, so I'll save some of the commentary on that for later when we read your comments. So I just wanted to point that out. It's pretty crazy. Let's get into some DC rumors. So according to the rumor mill site of the internet, we got this covered. This place, of course, has some wild rumors sometimes. Some stuff has turned out to be true, but mostly wild rumors from unnamed sources. So we always got to take this site with a grain of salt, but I do like checking it out because I think it provides some great discussion topics. And there's two rumors today. This first one says the Flash movie may feature an alternate Wonder Woman, and the alternate Wonder Woman is going to be the Flashpoint Wonder Woman. And if you guys are familiar with the Flashpoint storyline, there is an evil version of Wonder Woman. But what this is basically saying is that Gal Gadot is not going to be the evil Wonder Woman in here. You know what's really funny about these we got this covered articles is that at the end of these articles, it always says something to this effect. And given that these are the same sources who told us that Kevin Conroy was playing Kingdom Come Batman in Crisis on Infinite Earths, and Han would return in Fast and Furious 9, we have no reason to doubt them. Literally every article ends with a justification of why we should believe their sources, and I don't fault them for it, but it's just pretty funny. But let's just get to the topic here. Would you guys be interested in seeing an alternate evil Wonder Woman that isn't Gal Gadot in a Flash movie? That is something that looking at this, I haven't yet made up my mind. Would I like to see an alternate version of Wonder Woman? Yes, of course. If they're adapting the Flashpoint storyline, of course I would like to see that. But I always imagined it would be Gal Gadot wrecking shop as an evil version of Wonder Woman. If you guys are familiar with that Flashpoint comic, she pulls no punches and is absolutely brutal in that comic. And would I like to see Gal Gadot do that? Or portrayed as that? I think it would be awesome. I'm sure it would get a ton of criticism. A lot of people would probably liken it to the universe that Zack Snyder created, which I absolutely love. So maybe Warner Brothers, if this is true, and I'm not saying it is, maybe Warner Brothers doesn't want to portray Gal Gadot in that light, and which is why they may be looking at doing an alternate version of Wonder Woman. And I'm sure if it's received well, they'll probably do a movie, because DC likes to give all these other projects movies versus giving us a new Superman movie for some reason. Again, take this with a grain of salt. I'm not taking this as fact at all, just a fun rumor. But let me know what you guys think. Would you guys be okay with seeing an alternate version of Wonder Woman in a Flashpoint movie? Comment down below. And let's move on to another. We got this covered. Article says Grant Gustin might have a cameo in Flash movie. And of course, let's go to the end of this article and see if they do that thing again. It says, according to our sources, the same ones who told us Han was returning, Kevin Conroy was playing Kingdom Come, Batman, and Crisis, both of which turned out to be correct. See, they do that in like every article, but this wasn't at the end of the article. So, yeah, basically, Grant Gustin having a cameo in the Flash movie, and this is coming off the heels of Ezra Miller doing a cameo on the Crisis on Infinite Earths TV event, and I thought that was awesome. And to me, this seems like a no-brainer. I think we would love to see Grant Gustin cross over, and I think that's something Ezra would probably love. And given the reception from all the fans, I think DC has got to do this. It's absolutely a no-brainer. So this is something I think is absolutely going to be true, especially with the built-in fan base from all of the CW shows. If you have Grant Gustin on there, you're definitely going to have a built-in audience for this movie already from the DCEU fans. Because believe it or not, you know, I know a lot of us on this channel are huge fans of the DCEU. Obviously not everything that's come out of it, but we are all going to watch those movies. But there are people who are not on board with a different version of Flash, Grant Gustin. There are some people who are just not on board for Ezra Miller, but there are some people who are just not on board with a different Flash. So just to see them cross over would be awesome, and I'm sure would please all the fans. But let me know what you guys think. What is your prediction? Is Grant Gustin going to be on the Flash or in the Flashpoint movie that's going to come out in, what is it, 2021, 2022? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, let's get to a quick little news topic. I was going to talk about this yesterday, but there was too much stuff to talk about yesterday, so we're going to talk about it today. Batman composer has seen the new Batsuit, and of course, Michael Giacchino is that composer. Very talented guy. I've talked about him on various episodes on this channel in the past. Very talented. Let's just go ahead and see what he had to say. So he was basically interviewed with Hey You Guys on the BAFTA Awards, which I believe Joaquin Phoenix just won. I think it was Best Actor on there, and he delivered a speech on representation, which was pretty cool. And yeah, I'm getting off topic here, so let's just go ahead and read what Michael Giacchino had to say. Right now, I'm in the middle of just beginning some stuff for Batman. That is a really fun thing to be a part of because, again, I loved Batman as we all do growing up. So it's just fun to be a part of, taking it and doing your own version of it. So it's nice, he said. Now, I do believe Michael Giacchino already wrote the theme for the Batman, but I'm sure he's still working on it, tweaking it, talking with the director, Matt Reeves, to kind of add things and take away things depending on what they are feeling to be shaping up for the movie. So let's go on. He also confirmed that it'll be a very different take on what we've seen before. Oh yeah, he replied and shook his head yes when asked if director Matt Reeves has mentioned the comic books. Matt and I have talked about this well over a year now, Giacchino continued. We're like best friends, so we talk all the time anyway. This is just a normal part of our conversations. Wouldn't it be cool if we did this? Wouldn't it be fun if we did this? Let's take it in this direction and do something different. That's what we are all just trying to do, is to take it and do our own version of it, the thing we would want to do, and hopefully that is different than anybody else. Of course, I'm all for doing something different as long as it is a great story. Getting on to the whole Batsuit thing, says the cast is amazing. I used to love going and seeing everyone's different take on Batman. You get a comic book series and it would be a whole new take on the character, and that was always fun to do, and I feel like we are part of that whole tapestry at this point. Very true. Always there are different iterations of characters, and we'll get into that stuff a little bit later. But regarding the new Robert Pattinson Batsuit, Michael Giacchino laughed and said, "I've seen it," and obviously wouldn't go into detail, but he did talk about casting of Pattinson. It's always a process. You are always going to whittle down and figure things out, said Giacchino. I think from day one, he knew that. He's an amazing actor. He's an incredible actor. In this business, you get pigeonholed for certain things. If you do one thing and it goes off well, then that's the only thing you are going to be known for. For someone like him, that is not a fair assessment. He's an amazing actor, can do pretty much anything. That's what I am excited about to see him in this role doing something different. So there is Michael Giacchino's what he had to say about Batman and the Batsuit. He has seen it. Again, I've talked about in previous videos that we are probably going to see it soon, and I speculated in a couple videos, maybe it was the last video, speculated that it might get revealed alongside the Batmobile, just because that's how these reveals have taken place in the past. And the best thing coming out of the whole Batsuit speculation is all of this fan art, because there has been some incredible fan art, including the one pictured here on Comicbook News. There's been some incredible fan art and speculation about what kind of suit we're gonna get, and I'm really all just excited about it. And if you guys have a particular Batsuit that you think works best, in any age of the Dark Knight's history, let me know in the comments below. But yeah, he has seen the Batsuit. Let's get into your comments. So this is comments from my last video that spotlighted that whole Amber Heard story. So I'll just go quickly through these. It says, I'm also disappointed about the Niners loss. Yes, this is in regards to the Super Bowl. Yeah, and of course, there are a lot of people online just rubbing salt in the wound in regards to the Niners losing. That quest for 6 continues. Lauren Rhodes says, Amber Heard has a history of abuse with another partner before Depp, so I hope Hollywood does not use her anymore. However, I agree. I think she is going to get away with it. So yeah, I kind of commented in the previous video. I think she's going to be playing Mira still. And, I did like her as Mira. I do think she needs to work on her acting skills. But, I just thought for continuity's sake, I'd like to see her continue with it. But, I just did see Film Gob's breakdown of it and heard a little bit more backstory about her future. And, man, does she need some help. I am all for people getting help and becoming better human beings. We'll see what happens. It's pretty crazy. Nightmare Short says, I only came for bats. And yes, I feel you, man. I'm always looking for Batman stories. That's why I keep covering every little bit of news, despite how much or how little they reveal about it. So I'll continue to do that because I'm hyped too. The woke Birds of Prey argument is garbage. Margot wanted a fun action comedy, end of story. Only people out here pushing that argument are the clickbait media sources. And Pat, you are right. That's exactly what I think. A lot of people are trying to trash this movie for being too woke. But all these people, 99% of these people haven't even seen the movie. All the reviews are getting great. They're getting, great reviews and, or at least the social media reactions. So, these guys, without even seeing the movie, are trying to bash it just because of what they said off carpet. Maybe taking something and just really running with it and stretching what people had to say. And I think that's a problem with the internet sometimes. But the internet is great. I love the internet. Nico Panther, what's up, Nico? In Aquaman 2, I don't know what's happening, but this problem needs to be settled. It's not anyone else's business, and this is out of control. I don't even know if it's a problem that will affect Heard for Aquaman 2. Let's see, he says, if we're getting 2 versions of the Batsuit and the Batmobile, I'm up for it. Giving the Batman a chance like other movies, who knows? It can do well. Yeah, what I totally agree with you in terms of Amira, and that's what I said kind of in the previous video. It's like really not any of our business. Hopefully it does get settled. And hopefully people become better people outside of it. But in terms of the Batsuit and Batmobile, one of the questions I asked was, are you up for getting 2 versions of the Batsuit, maybe in some sort of flashback scene in the Batman? And yeah, I actually love that idea, and I'm glad that you are thinking that it's gonna happen. I'm hoping it does, because I want to see this Batman progress from a new Batman to a more seasoned Batman within the movie. That would be cool. There's still much time for filming Aquaman 2. Scandals come and go. Heard is still mirror. Yeah, I think so too, man. So that's Harold75. Nico Panther again. My favorite Super Bowl commercials with Wonder Woman 1984. I thought that was such a short commercial. It flew by me really quick, so that's kind of why I liked that Jason Momoa one a lot. I thought it was hilarious. Adam Monks. I'm a 49ers fan. I'm also primarily a Marvel fan, but like DC and your channel. Hey, thanks, man. Of course, we welcome all fans and people who just want to discuss these movies here on this channel. But yeah, we are Marvel fans too, Darren and I. We definitely review the movies, but we know our audience, and just myself primarily. I love to talk about DC news. I find it so fascinating how this whole thing is unraveling, and I'm a huge DC fan. So we primarily cover DC on here, but we talk about other comic book material and movies too. So yeah. Brooklyn's Finest, fuck that bitch. And Brooklyn's Finest is obviously saying or using his Conor McGregor voice, I believe. Yeah, I could totally see why someone would really hate on Amber Heard, especially if you heard the audio. Man, oh man, that audio is incriminating. MH Gaming says, I like to see Eva Green replace her in Aquaman 2. Ooh, I love me some Eva Green. If you guys don't know her, she's very talented. She was in the first James Bond movie with Casino Royale with Daniel Craig when Daniel Craig was introduced. She's in what is it called? The 300 sequel. She's in a lot of movies and she is great. If they replace Amber Heard for Aquaman 2, no one will notice or care. I've heard a lot about that in the internet. Here's a big one, and this will be the last one for today, just because it's a great question. Hey guys, I watch all your videos and they are great. I was wondering, when you have the time in the future, if you could talk about any gay people in Marvel movies. I feel like gay guys are underrepresented in both the MCU and DCEU, and what are the chances we see a gay superhero in a movie in the future? Thanks. It says read more. Let's see if there's more. Oh, that's all. So Matthew McBride, I think this is a great question. I mean, there's people who responded down below. I think Mad Max over here is commenting on some gay superheroes, I'm guessing. I don't know all of these, and you guys might need to educate me on some of these. Adam Monk says the reputation is the realest so far. You represent 4.5 of the population, so there wouldn't be that many gay superheroes. Adam Monks or Matthew goes on to say 10%, who's counting? So he's basically saying that we're about 10% of the population. And I think it's a great question. And I do think that we are going to see some LGBTQ representation in future Marvel and DC movies. I think Kevin Feige's already gone ahead and talked about that when asked about it on the red carpet. And, he said we're going to be seeing it very soon in the MCU. And I do think we have some representation in Carol Danvers. There's a lot of rumors that that her relationship with another female superhero is going to be played out in the next movie. Who knows? In the next Captain Marvel movie, that is. But DC, I have a feeling we're going to see more of that. So, I mean, I pulled up this list right here. There's a lot. This is not totally, all of it, right? So, the Daily Dot. Top 12 LGBTQ superheroes in DC and Marvel. So let's just go down the list really quickly. Wonder Woman, obviously, being on Themyscira, she has in some iterations, and again, all of these characters, there's some iterations that depict them as this, and there's others obviously that contradict it. There's comics have a long running history. So she's been on Themyscira, an all woman island. Obviously, she's probably experimented with different types of relationships. Midnighter, big ones. Let's see some big ones. Deadpool, America Chavez, Harley Quinn, of course. Yeah, so we're already getting that in the DCEU, and we also have Renee Montoya, who I do believe is another LGBTQ character. Loki, Iceman, which is kind of recent. The whole Iceman thing from X-Men. Batwoman, who we're already seeing on the TV show, and there's a lot more. There's people like Constantine, and there's rumors that the DCEU is going to be doing a Justice League Dark movie. So if they introduce Constantine in there, he's a bisexual character. As far as straight gay characters, I'm not sure, but I do believe we'll see them in the movies in the future. Now, do we need more representation? Of course we do, because as you said, representation is important. And what I don't want here is for these movies to hit us over the head with the fact that they are a gay or a lesbian or a queer superhero, and you promote it like that. I think that is the fear with most people. And I haven't seen it really done so much. I think you can argue that what's her name? Brie Larson was hitting us over the head with her woke agenda politics, and I thought that got blown over the top. Her comments about white people reviewing movies, but that's what's going to happen with these. We're going to get a lot of people upset because something's going to get taken out of context, or maybe they market it the fact that it's the first gay superhero. I don't think all of that stuff needs to be marketed like that. I think if you introduce it into the movie in a natural way that sticks true to the comics, I think audiences would be so accepting of it. I had no problem with it, and I think it's important that we introduce some of these characters in the future. Obviously Poison Ivy and Harley Quinn is going to be a relationship I feel like we see down the line. Constantine, I do think we're going to see him down the line, and I think those are things that will be explored. So I hope that answers your question, man. That was a great question. That's all for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know what you guys think about the questions that arose in the comment section. Thank you guys again. I'll catch you guys later. Peace.